we're making a really cool wall decoration for my parents. It's their 50th anniversary. Congratulations to them. And so I'm making them a little pallet art for their wall. So let's take a look at what I've done so far. First thing you want to do is build the frame. Actually, that's not true. First thing I did is found all the pallet boards I was going to use. And then what I did is, based on the size of the pallet boards, I built a frame. Here's what my frame is. It's this piece here is actually from a pallet as well. That's why some of the pallets come cut out with this. I don't know why, but I thought it looked pretty cool. So I made the frame by drilling some holes. I countersunk the screws because I didn't have long enough screws to go all the way through that into there. So I used a larger drill and countersunk them about halfway in. So that's where the screws catch. So I screwed each of these into the cross beam. And once I was done with that, I laid it on its back. And then I attached some flat pieces I had here. These are just thin boards. So these help make the frame. And then I screwed those in. Also, what I did, I should mention, before I attach these, I also put a little wood glue in there. Always helps to make it a little bit stronger. So then, after those two steps, I flipped it back over. And then I screwed in these little cross beams. So then what I'm going to do, these pallet boards have really cool old rusty nails in them. So I don't want to put any screws or add to that. I want them to look like they have the old rusty nails. So that's why I put these cross beams, because I'm just going to glue these in. So the next step is just to glue these here, here, and here. So what I'll do is I'll just put a bead of glue. First I'm going to set them in there to find the pattern I like. And then once I have my pattern, then I'll put a bead of glue down here. And then I'm going to lay them in. And then I'll show you what comes next. Okay, so now as you can see, I've laid out my pieces to the puzzle. Got them exactly where I want them. So at this point I'm going to pull them off one by one. I might need something to pry them up if they're tight, like mine are. So actually what I'll do is I'll flip them in place where they're going to be. So you want to keep them in order because they might not fit if you move them around. So I'm going to put a real generous layer of glue on. Now I have some extra glue here. I wanted to make sure I had enough. So I'm going to really get it good because nothing holding these except the glue, no screws, will be holding these in. Okay, so now that I've got my glue in, next thing I'm going to do is flip the boards back over. And the last piece to the puzzle. Beautiful. So what you need to do is you need to apply weight to these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look around and see what heavy objects I can lay on these. You probably want these to dry at least overnight, if not 24 hours, for the best hold. So what I've got here is established June 11th, 1966. That's when they were married. Dios es amor. God is love. And that's just a little metal thing I got for 10 cents at a garage sale. Then I've got the last name here. There's the birds I stenciled on. And a little branch. And I've got their initials. I used a painted stencil and that I used to paint something else and just squished it against that to kind of leave a residue. I wanted it to look kind of grungy, so that's the flag, which the paint was left over from when I painted that. So I took the stencil after painting that and just squished it on the bottom of the E to make it kind of grungy. And I painted a little bird on the top of the L. So there you go. And then the last thing I'm going to do is attach this cool chain. It's an old rusty metal black chain. I'm going to attach this to the top. and that will be how they hang it to the wall. So this is how I attach the chain. I use 2 screws with big heads so they won't slip through the metal on each side. So one there, just as a backup. One there, one there. So that's how it's going to hang.